Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chapter 2 Club's Smart Woman's Guide to Breakups and Everything After. Today, I'm here with divorce coach Carrie Doubts of Journey Beyond Divorce, and she's going to be talking about divorce grief. Hello, Carrie, how are you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that great introduction, Melanie. It's great to be with you and with all of your people here in your club. So I'm really happy to be here to talk a little bit about it's a subject that people don't really want to talk about, but it's necessary, and that's divorce grief. And so divorce is really one of the most painful experiences you can go through in your life. And this is true if you were the one left behind or if you decided to end the marriage. And so even if it was a long time coming, what really surprises people is how heartbroken they feel when the end actually comes. And it's because divorce is a death.
Mhm.
It's the death of your marriage and all the hopes and dreams you had of happily ever after. And with the death of your marriage comes a lot of secondary losses: family, friends, loss of identity as a husband or wife, financial losses, losing your home. I could go on. And what is grief? Grief is the normal reaction to loss. And we've been conditioned by our families, our culture, our society to deal with grief in socially acceptable ways that aren't helpful. And we've got these rules that we learned through our social conditioning. And I'm just going to go over a couple of them, three of them. I encourage you to examine them and ultimately set them aside. And so the first one is don't feel bad. A variation on this is pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get over it. So we tend to view sadness as weakness. And if you share your sadness in front of other people, they seem to feel this immediate need to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't feel that way. So you get don't feel bad. You're better off without him or her. And you start to feel like your feelings are wrong. Another rule is replace the loss as soon as possible. And this is a mistake I see a lot of divorced people making, trying to replace that partner before they've had the time to do the work of truly recovering from the divorce. It's a distraction tactic so you can avoid the pain of being alone. Here's another one. You should be over it by now.
Mhm.
What? You're not over that? It's been months. It's been years. You hear this. It's kind of like that variation on time heals all wounds. And when people say that, they don't understand your loss. They're judging it by their experience, which is not the same as yours. So how do you grieve well? We need to mourn when we experience a devastating loss like a divorce. And mourning is attending to the emotional experience of the loss. It's expressing on the outside what you feel on the inside with the intention of healing. And it's an active process, not a passive one where you're just waiting for the passing of time. It's an act of self compassion, which leads to your healing, which leads to restoring yourself to wholeness. And so grieving the loss of your marriage means that you'll give yourself permission to mourn, time to mourn, patience and understanding to mourn. It gives yourself permission to grieve in your own way, not the way everybody else thinks you should grieve. So you're going to break the rules. You're going to make yourself available to your grief. And here are a few short tips on how to do that. And the first one is slow down, slow down. Resist the urge to try and speed up through this uncomfortable process, the feelings of anger, of sadness, fear, loneliness. A mistake I see a lot of people making is thinking they need to hurry through the process because it's uncomfortable. And if you do, you usually end up making it longer and harder than it needs to be. Here's another one. Keep your attention on you, your thoughts, your feelings, your process of healing. And when you allow yourself to feel your feelings, to express them, to release them, you'll actually have more clarity about how to move forward in your life. And accept that it's really okay to feel sad and lonely. Give up the urge to resist or stuff or avoid your feelings. Crying is a necessary part of the healing process. So, let the waterworks start. Just go for it like it's an Olympic sport. And journaling is a way to create a safe place for you to access your feelings, to give them a name, to express and release them. This is all in service to freeing up your energy. And I have my clients do journaling as a regular process. It's a way that they can show up for themselves. And here's an important one: leave your ex out of it. Resist the urge to ruminate over what he or she should be doing or feeling, all of that. Just leave that alone. You have no control over what they're doing. Focus on you and take really good care of yourself. Grief is exhausting. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, you're feeding yourself good food, you're exercising, getting outdoors, doing those things that really boost your energy. And here's another tip: just take a break from intimate relationships. It's so tempting to bypass the difficult inner work and set your sights on finding a new partner before the ink's dry on your divorce judgment. So give yourself time to harvest the learnings about your part in the marriage breakdown before rushing into the arms of another. And if you don't, you may just find yourself recreating the same problems in your next relationship. And finally, reach out for support. You don't have to do this alone. It's so important to find a supportive network of friends, of peers, professionals. And coaching is a really helpful way to support yourself in the grieving process. And we really do help people accelerate their process through it in an appropriate way. So that's really my biggest tip: is you don't have to do this alone. So that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Carrie. These are wonderful insights, and our audience can find out more resources on our website at chapter2club.com, and we will put a link to your information right in below the video as well. So wonderful, wonderful insights. Thank you so much. It is a long process, and I love the whole permission. I use that for myself. And when I
Mhm,
talk to other friends who are going through it as well, just like that whole thing of giving yourself permission, I just
mhm.
really think that's very valuable.
Yes, absolutely. And I just wish everyone well who hears this information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.